More than 90% of people will quit the gym within 3 months. And up to 67% of people have never even used their gym membership once. New year, new you, right? On January the 1st, you decide to hit the gym. You're inexperienced, so you don't really know what to do. So you do a few simple exercises, and then you head home. You keep this up for a few days, but then next week, you miss a day because you're tired. Missing 1 day becomes 2 days, and then missing 2 days becomes cancelling your membership. This was me for the last 5 years, until something clicked last year. I'm going to share with you exactly what worked, so that you can skip the last 5 years that I wasted. In the last 4 months, I've been going 5 to 6 times a week without fail. I'm going to explain the number 1 reason we quit, and talk about 3 action steps that you can use today to make going to the gym a real consistent habit, so that you can transform your body this year. Binge mentality. The number 1 reason we quit. The response to a short-term impulse with an overdriven response. If you were to go on Reddit or Quora right now, it would come up with questions like, how do I lose 20 kilograms in 2 days? Or what is the fastest way to burn belly fat? Or how can I build 10 kilograms of muscle in 2 weeks? They come from people who feel a very sudden and urgent need to change their appearance. And clearly, the tasks they say are impossible without any drug enhancement or surgery. They want a quick solution. Maybe they have an important event in a month, like a wedding to attend. Or maybe their doctor has explained to them that they're at an increased risk of several life-threatening diseases and that their weight could kill them. In other words, they make the decision to commit to the gym in an emotionally charged state. So they go to the gym on the 2nd of Jan, all motivated, pumped up to fulfill a New Year's resolution. But actually, it's just the response to an urge and motivation as opposed to a well thought out plan. This is why so many people quit. They go for a couple weeks and they went with such a desire for a certain result rather than focusing on the process and the system that's needed to get them to the result. They focus on the destination and not the journey. So sure, they push hard for a couple of days, driven by their motivation, and they have the best intentions in mind, but it's short term. Motivation is virtually useless for objectives that are long term. Have you ever been so hyped up for something in the moment? You're like, oh, I'm gonna start this business, I'm gonna do this, do that, and then 3 days later, you're like, is it really that great? Do I even need to do it? It's just, I can't be bothered. So, have you ever got that feeling before? The overdriven response to the urge is unsustainable in the long run. They're going to eventually quit. There's a quote by Einstein where he said, you can't solve a problem by using the same mindset that created it. You can't solve your health problems if it came from the same binge mentality that caused it in the first place. What really matters in the long term is discipline. And the keys to discipline are practice and consistency. Discipline means repetitive, sometimes boring actions. You can thank motivation for the first 3 weeks of successfully going to the gym. If you want to go to the gym for 3 months, a year, 3 years, then you need discipline. Build discipline in all areas of your life to make going to the gym easier. How you do one thing is how you do everything. For example, waking up at the same time every day. By training yourself to do hard things, this makes everyday challenges that seem immense at the surface level appear way easier. If the reason you go to the gym is filled by shallow, superficial reasons, such as, getting more girls or, looking a bit better, then you're never going to maintain it. Because although, yes, of course we go to the gym to look better. Of course, there's no denying that's probably the number 1 reason people go to the gym. If that's the only reason, then you won't be consistent. The people who really go to the gym consistently know that there's so much more to going to the gym than getting girls or looking better. For me, the number 1 reason is how it makes me feel, how much more productive I feel, how much more things I can get done after going to the gym, on top of obviously, building muscle. Going to the gym is, for me, a place to reflect, relax, a place for me to kind of escape from all the work and to... The reason you'll stick to the gym is because of everything that it brings, not just the superficial, shallow reasons that it brings. You need to understand that it takes time. One way I like to think about it is, alright, look, it's 2024 now. In a year's time, it's going to be 2025 for everyone in the world. God forbid, pray we make it to 2025, but say we make it to 2025, we are all going to be in a position where either we've changed, we've grown, we've stayed the same, or we've gone backwards. So, work on the stuff now. There's no better time than now. There's the quote, the second best time to do it was now, the best time was 20 years ago. And it's so true. People who say, next year I'll start. The people who say next year they'll start, they're going to say that again next year. They're going to say the same thing every single time. You just got to start now. And in a year's time, you'll look back and think, wow, the progress I've made is amazing. Like, I'm so proud of myself. That's what you want. Alright, so I feel like the most important part of this video is gaining self-awareness of the problem itself that causes most people to fail. The self-awareness of binge mentality is probably just as important as the action steps I'm about to tell you. And so that's why I've dedicated so much time to talking about it, hammering the point home about binge mentality and about what it really means. Moving on to the action steps. By far the most important thing is make a plan, start off in small doses, and then maintain and ramp up slowly over time. For example, if you really, really hate the idea of going to the gym, like you just hate it, go for 5 minutes. I'm serious, go for 5 minutes on one day. Then the next day, go for 10 minutes. And over time, slowly build it up to more time and more days. And then slowly you'll realize that, this is actually quite fun. I enjoy going to the gym. There are some amazing benefits I get from it. I look better, I feel better, my mind is clearer. Accumulate many small wins at the beginning. And when I say wins, I mean each time you show up to the gym at the beginning counts as a win. Any kind of positive experience or emotion that you feel associated with the new habit counts as a win. And when you start to stack these wins, that's when you start to really, really make the habit ingrained into your identity. It becomes second nature to you. You don't even think about it anymore. When I go to the gym now, I don't think, I need to go to the gym today. I'm just like, I haven't been to the gym yet. I'll go now. I'll get changed. I'll go. So that's where you want to get to the point where literally it's so ingrained into your psyche and your mind, you just go without even thinking about it. Number 2 is identity mindset change. What do you want to be? If you want to be an athlete, then think about what are the things that an athlete does. If you want to be, a top 1% student, think about the things, the traits and the things that a top 1% student does. And then do those things. And again, apply the principles of small doses and ramp up over time in order to make those things a habit. The last thing is an accountability partner. I think this can be very helpful, especially if you've got someone in the same stage as you, wanting to take their health and fitness seriously at the beginning of their journey. And you guys can push each other, help each other, kind of support each other through the hard phase at the beginning where you're trying to make it a habit, which is more likely to cement it into your mindset and your identity. But there's definitely a risk to this. This definitely isn't the most important thing. You need to build up your individual discipline, because what if your friend can't make it for some reason? Does that mean you don't go? You cannot be dependent on someone else to go to the gym, or like with anything. You can't be dependent on them. You should be interdependent. You should help each other grow. You need to be able to be interdependent but also self-reliant. You need to be confident and have the discipline to go on your own as well. So I'd say with this last point, it can be very useful, but by no means necessary. Alright, if you've made it to the end of the video, I'd like to thank you for getting through what's definitely going to be some waffling and some rambling. But I'm so passionate about the subject of taking up habits and how to actually go to the gym consistently. Because a lot of people will say, do this, do that, but inevitably we'll quit without understanding why we quit and how we're going to prevent that from happening. The reason I waffle is because I'm passionate about this, and I'm hopeful that we all become healthier, happier, we all live longer. And being a medical student, I see a lot of preventable disease in the hospital, and also mental health stuff, which exercise can really, really, really help with. It's such a great natural way, without using drugs, to be able to help have a positive impact on people's lives. So all that's left to say is, God bless, and let's win together.